Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's another day in the year 2025, and it's another gaming studio that is being forced to close down. We have the studio that is behind Spectre Divide, which was an arena shooter that nobody heard of, and Mountaintop Studios, the developer that made the game, has officially announced that they are going to have to shut down the game and the studio in the next 30 days or less. And the reason why is, quite frankly, that nobody's playing the game. There's not enough people to support it, and they don't have enough funds and revenue coming in order to continue day-to-day operations. At least they're being honest about it instead of lying and saying, oh, everything's fine, we have amazing developers, but, things are just hard right now. So let's get into this article, guys, from Insider Gaming. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, here's the thing. We actually have two articles from Insider Gaming today, and this one kind of deep dives into what actually happened with Spectre Divide, which is ironic because the funny thing is that this was a game that had millions of dollars in investments. This was a game that was backed by some popular streamers, but here's the thing. These popular streamers, these shills that were pushing this game as the greatest thing ever, they weren't even playing the game. They were too busy playing other games like Marvel Rivals, for example, games that they actually wanted to play. See, here's the problem with these modern audience-looking games is that, sure, you could get people to show for them. Sure, you could get people to lie to other people about it. Sure, that can happen. But eventually what's going to happen is that if they're a real gamer, they're going to want to play games they actually want to play and enjoy. And this is not going to be one of them. So Spectre Divide has announced that they are going to be closing down. We have this post here on their Twitter page. It says, Dear Spectre fans, it's been 2 weeks since we launched Spectre Divide Season 1 Flashpoint. We're incredibly grateful for the positivity and support that you've shown over that short time. Unfortunately, the Season 1 launch hasn't achieved the level of success we needed to sustain the game and keep Mountaintop afloat. We were optimistic about the first week. We had 400,000 players playing, with a peak concurrent player count of 10,000 across all platforms. That is not a lot. I don't know why you were optimistic about that, because 10,000 players across all platforms concurrently is a pathetic number for a free-to-play game. I don't understand why you would think that's optimistic, but okay, I guess whatever. But as time has gone on, we haven't seen enough active players and incoming revenue to cover the day-to-day costs of Spectre and the studio. Since the PC launch, we stretched our remaining capital as far as we could, but at this point, we're out of funding to support the game. This means Mountaintop will be closing its doors at the end of this week. We expect to take Spectre offline within the next 30 days, but we plan on disabling new purchases and refunding money spent since Season 1 launched via the platforms. We'll be following up with more information on this soon. We pursued every avenue to keep going, including finding a publisher, additional investment, and or acquisition. In the end, we weren't able to make it work. The industry is in a tough spot right now. You know what's crazy? So this video game received millions upon millions in investments, right? That investment money is not around anymore. We have talked about this so many times, but the lacking of US aid funds is now affecting all of these studios that otherwise would have been able to find investments. They can't find it anymore. People don't want to invest in this garbage anymore. And now it's going to have to come down to you being able to actually perform and getting people to want to play, purchase, or support your game monetarily. It's coming down to you now. You're not going to be able to keep finding investor after investor after investor to save you for the next few years and pay your salary. Now you actually have to make a video game that people want to play and support you monetarily with. This is a painful update to share. We love Spectre. We're incredibly proud of what we built with this community. For the entire team at Mountaintop, I want to thank the Spectre community for all your support these past few years. We loved every minute, and we're sincerely going to miss you. Special thanks to our incredible investors, too, without which Spectre would have been possible. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Would have been possible because you guys wouldn't have been able to get the money to make something like this, which is exactly what you're going through now because nobody wants to pay you to keep it going. This has always been a passion project for us, born out of love for a genre. An indie team of insanely talented individuals who came together from around the world to build a game we believed in. We wanted to deliver something innovative and original in a crowded genre that would bring friends together around unforgettable moments. We shook up the format. No, you didn't. Not from what I hear. Created a fresh art style and universe and partnered with some of our heroes. All of us knew from the beginning that the odds were against us, but that's what we signed up for. It was never a surefire bet. we did it anyway. We had a few tough stumbles out of the gate when we launched in September, but this team rallied and poured everything into tackling your critical feedback for Season 1. We made major changes and improvements to virtually every area of this game and brought the game to consoles. Even though it wasn't enough to achieve financial success, the team fought tooth and nail and went down swinging. Game development's full of twists, turns, and surprises, and the industry has changed dramatically since the start of the project in 2020. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised, guys, that a game that looks like this was started in 2020? Why am I not surprised? All of these modern audience-looking games always started in 2020, and now we're starting to see the fruits of all their labor. And anyway, it says we wouldn't trade the journey for anything. So now that you guys know that the studio is shutting down, let's do a little bit of a deep dive. Who supported this game? Who pushed this game out there? So apparently this game was penned as the next big thing, which... okay. Look at what happened with Concord. This game looks like a cel-shaded version of Concord. That's genuinely what it looks like. When I looked at it, I was looking at gameplay. I'm like, this looks like Concord. Is this Concord reskin? But it's not. It was apparently a totally different game. So it's penned as a next big thing. Why? Because streamers were promoting this game. A streamer called Michael Shroud, one of the biggest streamers and former esports players in the world, promoted this game as the next big thing, and he publicly backed the game. But see, here's the thing, right? Number one, the game had a feature called the split, basically duality feature, where you split yourself into two bodies. Apparently, that was useless, and nobody even cared about it. Like, basically, when it came down to it, it was a gimmick kind of feature. And then, apparently, not only that, you couldn't secure a healthy base enough for users. And on top of that, too, if you look down here, it says that the game was not being supported by the same streamers they were actually supporting it at the beginning, which is hilarious, by the way. And not only that, it released super buggy, which is going to be, that's going to be bad. The game is going to be DOA instantly if you release a live service game buggy from the start. Look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's not wokeness that killed that game. It didn't help it, but it's not wokeness that killed that game. It was extreme buggy servers, buggy gameplay. The whole game had game-breaking bugs for over a month on end, and by the time they fixed it, people were gone. They didn't care anymore. Then on top of that, too, again, the streamers, the ones who were advocating for the game, didn't care. Many prospective fans of Spectre Divide were also displeased with how Shroud, the game's main advocate, busied himself with other games like Deadlock and Marvel Rivals, failing to support the game that he promoted since day one. So, like, it doesn't matter. You could get these shills, you could get these major freaking streamers to back you, but if they're not actually playing your game on a daily basis and truly supporting you, then what are you doing, right? What are they doing? It's very clear that this game wasn't fun enough for Shroud to want to play every day. So if Shroud's not playing it every day, then his fans are going to be like, well, if he's not playing it, I don't really care to play it either. What do I care? Right? If you're not showing the game every day, at least a little bit every day, and really trying to push it out there, it's not going to work. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge issue with free-to-play games that rely on massive amounts of players in order to be able to operate. There's only so many live service games that could go around, and I keep saying this, and yet these companies are trying to be the next big whatever, Helldivers, Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever. They're trying to be the next big live service game so they can keep making money from the same fucking game for 10 plus years. That's what they're trying to do. But the chances of you succeeding at that is 1% out of 100. Like, that's basically it. And you're not going to be able to do it on average, where you have a much higher chance of succeeding if you were to focus on making something that's original, fun, and probably single player, so that way people can enjoy it at their own time and not feel like they're being left behind because they're not partaking in live service elements. Not even the journalists like the live service elements. And you mean to tell me the gamers are going to like it too? If they do, they've already picked their game and it's not yours. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.